Hey guys, welcome in. It is Brad with College Sportscast. We are here for another episode of the Big Fuss Show.
Can I please have your attention? There's all a commotion around here.
What are you talking about?
Let them yap at you.
It's actually very.
What's up, guys? It's Brad with College Sportscast. I've got John Hammonds on here with me. What is up, John Hammonds?
What's up, man?
Man, it has been one busy day. That's all I got to say. Trying to throw this together at the last minute, but we are here to do the Big Fuss Show, and we appreciate you guys. So before we get started here, man, I just want to say if you're on Facebook with us, we appreciate you. We hope that you enjoy this, enjoy our episode, enjoy the fuss, and you can help support us by sending stars or by subscribing for just 99 cents a month. Also, if you are on Facebook with us, please like and follow. Also subscribe, 99 cents a month. If you are on YouTube with us, please like and subscribe. We appreciate each and every one of you for joining and watching live or watching afterwards. It does not matter. We appreciate all of you. Share, tell friends. We are trying to grow, and we appreciate you. All right, John. So how busy's your day been? Because mine's been crazy busy.
It's been a little busy.
I didn't even know for sure if I was going to get home in time to do this, to be honest. So, all right, we're going to get started, John. We have a new AP poll out yesterday, actually. They are coming out on Mondays. But we have a new AP poll out, John, and I am going to let you kind of run through the new weekly AP poll.
Yeah. Number one was Ohio State with 57 votes. Penn State got 5 at number 2. LSU at 3 got 2 first-place votes. And Oregon at 4 got 1 first-place vote. 5 was Miami. 6 was Georgia. 7 was Texas. 8 was Notre Dame. 9 was Illinois. 10, Florida State. 11 was South Carolina. 12 was Clemson. 13 was Oklahoma. 14 was Iowa State. 15 was Tennessee. 16 was A&M, Texas. 17 was Ole Miss. 18 was South Florida. 19 was Alabama. 20 was Utah. 21 was Texas Tech. 22 was Indiana. 23 was Michigan. 24 was Auburn. And 25 was Missouri. And Arizona State dropped out. And Florida dropped out.
Well, Florida's not really a big surprise, to be honest. I can't say that Florida's a big surprise, but South Florida moving all the way up to 18.
Yeah, I mean,
was that a surprise or a no? They beat 2 ranked teams. What do you think?
not really. I mean, you look at, week 1, they dominated Boise State. They're not only the group of 5 team, but they're probably playing as good as anyone in the country. This is a very good team. They got offensive explosion. The biggest shock to me has been their defense. Todd Orlando, the defensive coordinator, is really, really good. South Florida's fast. They're disruptive. I want to tell you, man, Florida is in trouble. with Billy
Uh,
Napier.
yeah,
And I, and
we'll
I
get to
said
that
that
for sure,
I
but
said
that's
that
for
late
sure.
last year, so we'll talk a little bit more about that later in the show. So
Yeah, man, they're in some trouble probably there. So
and I'll say
um,
this to add on South Florida, they have a trip to Miami next week.
this, this week, yeah.
If they could pull off this and possibly win their conference, they got a shot to go to the playoffs.
Oh yeah, very easily. I mean, 2 ranked wins to start the year, and then you play number 5 Miami this week. So I mean, hell, you got your shot. To be honest with you,
You do.
So hats off to the Bulls so far. Um, you know, 2 games in, I mean, you beat 2 ranked teams and going to Miami, so you've got your chance. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Georgia fell 2 spots in the poll. Was you surprised by
Yeah,
that?
not really. I mean, they struggled with Austin P, but to be fair, there was a lot of weather involved.
There was.
There was a delay, and it just screws everything up. I said it, when they had the week 1 NFL kickoff, it screwed everything up. Weather delays cause issues. It causes disruptions, and I think Georgia just did not play the way they thought they should play, and I think the weather had a little bit to do with that. But Georgia's still Georgia. Until you knock them off, they're still the SEC champs. So we'll find out what they're made of this weekend when they play Tennessee.
So it was interesting. There are no SEC teams in the top 5.
That's
No,
interesting.
I
No.
take that back. LSU.
LSU's in the top 5.
LSU is in there. It's my bad. LSU is number 3, and that's basically based off of week 1. But to be honest with you, Clemson didn't look all that well last week versus Troy.
No, they did not. I'm going to be honest with you. Clemson's offensive struggles has been an issue this season. Cade Klubnik entered in as like a Heisman front runner. He's got some good receivers: Antonio Williams, Bryant Westco, TJ Moore. They brought in Garrett Riley calling the plays. There was a lot of expectations, and things have just not went well. They've not got on track offensively. Now, to be fair, LSU's defense is really good. You can probably explain why they played bad. LSU's got a better defense this year, but you don't. There's nothing to be happy about.
There was a weather delay in that game as well, but in the fourth quarter, I'm pretty sure Clemson was actually down 16-0 in this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a good thing when you're down 16-0 to Troy and have to fight back and try to get back in the game at home. Yeah, there's some issues there.
Like, what's going on with Cade Klubnik?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, LSU, Garrett Nussmeier, they wasn't overwhelming last week as well. I didn't believe. So there's 2 teams from week 1 that everybody thought was going to be, surefire top 10 teams, and I think there's some question marks. LSU's still sitting at 3, but they didn't play all that well either.
They didn't, and then to add to you with the ACC, this league is very wide open. You got Florida State, SMU,
Miami,
Clemson's still there, though they're 1-1. They don't look good.
Miami.
SMU's 1-1, which they blew a 14-point lead with 6 minutes to play against Baylor and lost. Miami looks good to make that jump. Pittsburgh, NC State looks good. Heck, even Virginia playing good. I mean, it's going to be fun to watch this whole season down the stretch and see where the ACC lands.
That's for sure. I think one conference, and we'll get to them just a little bit later, but one conference I'm a little concerned about is the Big 12.
Yeah, Kansas State's had an absolute collapse.
What's going on? at Kansas State. I mean, everybody kind of hyping up their coach the last few
mean,
years.
You go to Dublin, you lose a one-score game to Iowa State. They come home, barely escape FCS North Dakota.
Just barely escaped North Dakota at home.
Army came into Manhattan this weekend, took a big hunch out of their apple.
Yep.
So what's really happening with K-State? You know, Pyman, you know, I think he's a good coach. I mean, you got to figure this out, because I think they was one of my picks to be in the Big 12 championship, and that's not looking good right now.
No, they definitely are not playing well. They definitely are not playing well, and we're going to get to some more Big 12 stuff towards the end of the show. But I mean, that's one conference I feel like is not playing up to par. I mean, you got a couple of teams that look good. Iowa State looks good. Texas Tech looks pretty good so far. But to be honest, Tech really hasn't played anybody much.
No.
You know, so I mean, they're putting a crap ton of points on the board, but they're beating nobody 63-3. You know, I mean, so we'll see when they really start playing somebody. But the two teams that really kind of look good are those two.
I'm actually going to give you a team that I thought looked really good Saturday was Illinois. There was, you know,
I thought that game, John, started out kind of slow. It was a close game at halftime. I think it was like a 14-13 game at halftime.
Yeah.
And then the second half, man, they just turned it on. It wound up like 45-19 or something.
Yeah, you got to remember, you know, Duke had won 9 games last year, you know, but they did surrender, I think, 5 turnovers. Illinois, their quarterback was flawless. You know, he played really good. The Illini, their schedule sets up for them. You know, you got the game against Ohio State, but they're going to have home field advantage in that game.
Yeah.
So it's possible that Illinois could be playing for a Big Ten championship if you know Michigan's not looking great. There's a few teams in there that's not looked the part this season beyond Ohio State.
Yeah. I mean, you got Oregon and Penn State and Ohio State. And to be honest with you, Illinois is probably next in line, you know, in the Big Ten right now.
Yeah.
I know Indiana's down there. I'm still not 100% sold on Indiana just yet. I want to see them play at least somebody with a pulse. I mean,
yeah.
Hopefully they have a pulse at least. I mean, come on, for real. I'll tell you a game that was very entertaining on Saturday, John. I thought the Virginia-NC State game was really, really entertaining. I watched a lot of that game on Saturday, and that game was really entertaining. It was back and forth. Virginia would get a 10-point lead, and then NC State would come back and get a 7-point lead. Virginia'd come back and take a lead. I mean, it was back and forth. Honestly, there wasn't a whole lot of defense. Nobody could stop anybody, but it was an entertaining game to watch.
It was. I enjoyed it.
And all right, so from there, we are going to go to our pick 6 topics. Give me just a second, guys, and we will get to our pick 6 topics. All right, on the bottom of the screen, you will see the pick 6 segment. John, I got a few topics here for us. This one, I'm going to put this up here, and I got just a little bit to say here about this one. I feel like the top of the SEC is not as stout as they normally are. I think we have quite possibly this year. I mean, I thought Texas was going to be one of the teams. I thought Georgia was going to be one of the teams, and I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying they haven't started 2 games in. I mean, Georgia hasn't really played anybody, and they were favored 46 points and only put up 28 on Austin Peay last week. I know that we had the stoppage. And to be honest with you, Texas struggled. First quarter, they had nothing. They scored 28 points in the fourth quarter or in the second quarter and only had 38 the entire game. And played a little old school. I can't even remember who it was now, but
San Jose State.
San Jose State. That's right. And was favored 40 some points. I don't think Texas looks as strong. I didn't think LSU played well. Ole Miss and Kentucky. Ole Miss stayed right with Kentucky as bad as they played sometimes. I mean, South Carolina and the offense, they wound up with 38, but I mean, they didn't have a whole lot in the first half.
A&M didn't look good, really.
A&M didn't look great. I mean, I could go on and on. I'm a little bit concerned about the top of the SEC. With that said, let's talk about our top 6 teams in the SEC.
My top 6 are LSU, Texas, Georgia, Tennessee, and probably Ole Miss.
That's 5.
Oh, and probably I'm going to go Oklahoma. I think what Oklahoma's doing is pretty impressive. I'm going to put them in my top 6. John Mateer, he had an outstanding game Saturday. He's a transfer from Washington State. He had 270 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. He's good with his legs. He confused Michigan's defense all night. He had them tore all to pieces, and he was the difference in the game. I thought Deion Burks looked really good. A former Purdue transfer, he was a really good target for him. I think he had a 100-yard game. So put Oklahoma in the 6th spot for me.
I mean, you can't argue with the way Oklahoma has started. We won't find out a whole lot this week. They play Temple this week in week 3. Oklahoma does. But there is some more SEC play going. There's some going to be some big games. Georgia travels to Tennessee this week. Florida goes to LSU this week. You also have Vandy going to South Carolina as well this week. So there's some pretty good games this week in SEC play. We will begin to maybe have a little bit of separation and find out who's who here. I mean, John, I thought Texas A&M would probably be in the top 6, but they haven't looked fantastic even against lesser opponents. We'll find out this week. A&M plays Notre Dame this week.
Yeah, so you jump right into a tough opponent on the road. So we'll see what Elko and company can bring to the week 3.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm trying to think of another team here. Missouri, they did have a decent win against Kansas, a rival game over the week. They're
the top of the SEC, has some leakage. We saw Alabama lose to Florida State.
Yep.
Georgia hasn't looked great. Texas looked kind of shaky early.
And lost to Ohio State.
The middle part is where it gets kind of murky. You got Auburn, Oklahoma, Missouri, Vanderbilt, and now you got Mississippi State. And to add to that one, Missouri. So we could see.
Oh, it's really stout from the middle up for sure. I'm just kind of worried about the very top is what I'm kind of worried about.
Yeah, we could probably see the SEC beat each other up in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. No love for Vandy here?
I said Vandy.
I'm talking about in your top 6. But
not yet. I mean, they beat Virginia Tech, which is not a great football team. They beat Charleston Southern.
They did. Virginia Tech was on the road, and they wound up beating them 44-20. I mean, that's a pretty good spanking on the road.
Is. To be fair, Virginia Tech's not great. But then again, Vanderbilt has much improved. So we'll find out Saturday when they play South Carolina.
Yes, they do play South Carolina on Saturday, so that's going to be a telltale sign there for the SEC. All right, I just wanted to run through because I feel like the SEC, that the top 2-3 teams may not be quite as strong as they normally are, but I do think like 3 through 10 is just as stout as any league, if not way more than any league in the country. All right, let's get to a topic. We're only week 2 in, John, in college football, but man, there was some real bad, ugly stinkers going on last week in college football, to be quite honest with you. Let me start with this one. Top coaches on the hot seat after week 2. And John, let's start. I know everybody wants to talk about Billy Napier here first, but man, what happened to Mike Gundy and the Oklahoma State Cowboys?
I don't know, man. I feel like they're just hung over from last year.
I thought he was a man.
I mean,
I'm a man. Remember that thing? I was like, what happened to him?
Yeah, like Oregon hung 69 on the Cowboys. And they only had 3 points.
69-3. And they had a touchdown called back. At one point, there was 75 on the board.
I think you got to consider that if they have another winless conference record, I think this seals his doom.
I mean, he's been there, 21 years? Something like that?
Yeah. Maybe I can't remember. It's something like that. But last year was horrible. They ended with a 9-game losing streak. Oregon whipped them this weekend. His job security is in trouble.
I mean, seriously, the way they look Saturday, John, and I'm being dead serious when I say this, I'm beginning to wonder if they are trying to get out of being a Power 4 conference team.
Well, and to knock it off, they opened the conference slate against Baylor, who just knocked off SMU. I mean, it don't get any easier for him.
I mean, what in the world? I scratched my head last year for real like this. I mean, with the running back, they had Ollie Gordon last year and should have been good and just had a terrible season. And then to start the season out, listen, I know you're playing Oregon, all right? I know Oregon has a great team. I know Dan Lanning has put together and spent a lot of money. Gundy was talking about all the money that they have spent on their team. Well, guess what, Mike Gundy? You're a Power 4 conference too. Welcome to the new world. You, Mike Gundy, can do the same damn thing. I don't understand.
I feel like there's ways there's ways of losing to a top 10 opponent, right? But there's no way you can justify what happened Saturday. They gave up touchdowns on 2 of the Ducks' first 3 plays.
I mean,
they surrendered, I think, 500 yards in the first half. How bad can it get?
Lord have mercy. I mean, I would have been waving the white flag.
I'm going to name you another one that I think's on the hot seat is Brent Pry from Virginia Tech. He better start getting some wins or he won't make it to the end of the year. They have Old Dominion and Wofford these next two, there's a lot of pressure on Brent Pry.
Yeah,
You know,
I can agree with that.
and then the other one, which we know all about, it's Billy Napier. Billy is just not on the hot seat for this game, but this next 4 weeks are probably going to make or break their year. You know, he goes to LSU. They play Miami.
In
Texas
Miami,
A&M, play Texas as they play Texas at home. To be fair, I just don't think he can afford any more losses. And when you face 3 top 10 ranked teams over the next 5 weeks, it's hard to imagine him surviving the year. To be honest.
Listen, Florida has a fan base that is used to winning. They have a school and an administration that is used to winning. And when I say winning, I'm not talking about going 8-4. I'm talking about 10, 11 wins, 12, competing for SEC championships, national titles, college football playoffs, what is now the college football playoffs. I mean, this 500 football that's been going on at Florida, I'm actually kind of surprised that it's lasted this long, to be honest.
I'm actually going to tell you something that really confused me Saturday. There was so many self-inflicted moments, but the final drive is what got me. I think they got the ball back with 2 minutes? And all they had to do was run clock. He called 2 pass plays, 2 passes in 3 plays.
The announcers were even like, why are they throwing the ball?
Then South Florida got the ball back, and I think the Florida lineman spit in one of the he done his Jalen Carter impersonation.
Yeah.
And, you know, that whole game was screwy from the beginning. You know,
I think that drive you're talking about, I think they took 19 seconds off the clock or something like that.
They did.
Something like that.
And I want to tell you,
they had the lead, and all they had to do was get a first down to run the clock out. I mean, they had to get a first down, eat some timeouts, and stuff like that. They didn't even force them to use their timeouts. They still had 2 timeouts when they got the ball. Now, look, later here on a topic, we're going to talk about some other boneheaded stuff, but I'm going to tell you right now, man, when you have a lead with 2 minutes and 30 some seconds to go, and the other team's got 2 timeouts and the 2-minute timeout, I don't know, man. Maybe, just maybe, you should try to run the clock out.
Yeah.
Make them use their timeouts.
Maybe.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe. I mean,
and I'm going to tell you another coach that I think's on the hot seat, but his buyout's ridiculous, and that's Mark Stoops. And I know people's going to say, well, Kentucky's not going to be able to afford it. Probably not. But he's under fire. There was a lot of mistakes in that game Saturday. You know, I was really appalled by what Sean McDonough said right before halftime. He said, these are the kind of things that if you're on the hot seat, they get you fired.
Yeah.
These late game problems, they was down 17-13. Kentucky was in field goal range. They didn't bring the kicker out. The play was a disaster before it even began. They couldn't even get set pre-snap. What should have been 3 points on the board turned into 2 penalties, and you could tell.
To be fair, John, it would have been a very, very long attempt at a field goal where they were. It would have been like a 57-yarder. Now, the kicker they have is supposed to be able to kick from 60, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you that he couldn't have made it. But, I mean, there's no guarantee that he would have made a field goal at that point. But, however, saying all that, so come to find out, they have the earpiece in the helmet for the quarterbacks. And Calzada's earpiece quit working. So late in that first half, that is part of what the problem was. Okay. However, when that happens, they're supposed to be able to have hand signals so they can do hand signals. The problem is that Bush Hamden's upstairs in the sky and at the, he's upstairs in the sky trying to look down on everybody, and he's not on the sidelines, and everybody's lost. The formation's lost. Nobody knows what the hell's going on. What play did you call? Where are we supposed to line up? I mean, are we taking lunch? Is it halftime yet? I mean, who the hell knows?
Here's the thing that really gets me is, the play con is a mess. The biggest bizarre play call was the fake toss on a 3rd and 9 draw play. You had
we'll dig into this just a little bit more because I have another topic that has to do with this. But for real, there is a problem. It's mainly on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know if Stoops is going to be really on the hot seat yet. I'm not ready to put him there just yet, but it's getting close for sure. I know the fans are fed up with it, but I'm talking about the administration.
Yep.
All right, John, I do have one more pick six topic for us tonight. I kind of threw this one in at the last minute, so if you're not prepared for it, I get it. But we talked about quarterbacks last week. I thought this week we would do top 6 running backs through week 2 and kind of go with a rundown of the best running backs in college football so far.
I'm going to say that's tough. I think I'm going to go Jeremiah Love. I still think he's got some things in his bag.
Yeah,
Notre Dame has just not used him. Well, they only played one game, but they never really used him in the Miami game. It just felt like he just was not used properly. The second one would probably Nick Singleton from Penn State. He's really, really good. I think he's the most complete back in college football. He's got a lot of speed. Third, I'm going to go Micah Hughes from Oregon. I think he's really, really good. He's one of the tops in the country. They lost Jordan James to the NFL. They got him to replace him. And then 4, I know you're not going to like this.
Probably
Isaac Brown from Louisville.
Isaac Brown. Okay.
I think Isaac's really, really good. He finished 3rd in the ACC last year. He's the leading returning rusher for this year. He's probably one of the better backs in the ACC. He won ACC Rookie of the Year. I think he's a really good back. Ahmad Harvey from Missouri is really, really good.
He is a good.
I love Hardy. Luther Burden was the main spark for that offense, but I think Hardy was really, really good last year at Louisiana Monroe. He won the Sun Belt.
I think he's a good pickup. I think Hardy was a good pickup.
And a lot of people don't realize that Kentucky was after that kid.
Yep, they were.
Ole Miss was too. So, and then I'm going to go. How many have I said?
You said 5.
I'm going to go Bryson Washington from Baylor. I like this kid. He redshirted last year, in 23. He had a really good campaign last year. He really took off at the end of the year last year. I thought he was really big this weekend. I thought he's one of the top backs in the Big 12. There's a lot of backs, Brad, that you could probably put in that top 6 range, but I'm going to go a bonus, and I'm going to put in Seth McGowan. I think Seth's playing really, really well for Kentucky.
If they will use him 20 times a game, I think he could be in that top 6, 7, 8 running backs of the country.
Yeah, I do too. I think he runs with a purpose. He runs like he's pissed off all the time. There was a play Saturday. I was at the game, and me and Dad was talking, and I was like, he just runned over a guy. It was a linebacker for Ole Miss.
Just runs him over every time he has a chance.
I thought, my goodness, man, this ride runs possessed. But
the Ole Miss running back, they picked up a guy that was really good.
I think Lacey's really good. Lacey's
a good one too.
Yeah, he's really, really good. So on to you now. Give me your top backs.
I mean, I think Lacey should probably be in there, to be honest with you. I'm not going to go through a list, just add a few names. I really like Lacey. I was going to mention McGowan, but now Seth McGowan with Kentucky, he has to get the carries. I mean, he's kind of splitting time with Dante Dowdell. It seems like both are getting about 10 or 12 carries a game, something like that so far. And I think that, somewhere it might be 15 a game for each one on an average after 2 games. But I think if McGowan gets a 2/3 share of the carries for Kentucky, I think he definitely could be up there. I was definitely going to say Hardy from Missouri. I think he runs really, really hard. I think he has a lot of elite talent. So I'm just going to leave it as those, and we will go on to our no-fly zone, guys. Let me go back up. We're going to go to our no-fly zone. And I have 3 topics on our no-fly zone. We're going to get to our first one. Now, John, I'm going to let you say his last name because I can't say it. Not right. Nico
Iamaleava.
I could say it if you say it, but I cannot say that without it for nothing. All right, I have a statement here, and I want to know if this is fly or no fly. Nico made the worst career move in the history of college football.
I think so. Yes.
Is there anybody else that you can think of that went from one place to another that is just severely damaged his career?
I mean, you look at the whole picture, UCLA looks lost. And I'm afraid, Brad, it might be too late.
That hot seat's warming up real quick for Deshaun Foster.
You look at Joey Aguilar. He's probably getting ready to play one of the biggest games of his life Saturday.
I mean, it probably will be. It's not going to be one of. I'm sure it's the biggest game of his life. And so far, John, he looks like a top 3 round pick, and Nico looks like he may not get drafted.
Listen, it's been a rough 2 weeks for UCLA. This is a team that many expected the Bruins to be better. He simply has not been good. Now, to be fair, I thought he played pretty good Saturday. Looked good in the second half, and he kind of got settled in. But the second, I don't know, Brad. I think it was the final drive, and he threw a tip pass and it got intercepted by UNLV. It's just he's so inconsistent. I thought he did better this week than he did in week 1. I'm going to give him probably a C for this grade.
I mean, they
I thought
lost
he
to
played.
Utah 43-10, and then they turned around and lost to UNLV 30-23 last week. Like you said, he threw an interception, a tipped interception to end the game. They were driving during that drive, but man, Joey Aguilar looks. I mean, they're throwing the ball all over the field. They scored 72 points on the School of the Blind, whoever they played last week. I mean, I mean, something like that. I forgot who they played.
That was pretty good.
I mean,
you know something that's really I'm not a fan of Tennessee, but I was kind of watching the whole Joey Aguilar thing, and his 82-year-old grandmother.
yeah, I did see that. That was kind of nice.
She traveled from California.
I think it said she was 86, wasn't it? I think
she was 82.
82.
They was teaching her how to the Rocky Top song.
Oh God.
Yeah, she's I thought it was
a perfectly good moment. I was like, I seen some of it and I thought, oh, that's nice. I didn't know he was teaching her the darn Rocky Top song.
I think there were like 12 members of the family there. I think his mother was there, his grandmother. They sat in the end zone for his first game. He put on a show, man. 288 yards, 2 touchdowns. But he never played after halftime. It was he sat pretty much the second half. So big game this weekend for him. I think
absolutely.
Tennessee and Georgia is going to be a big one. But to go back to what we were saying with like Nico Iamaleava, I just think Nico is just going to have to face the music. And
I think this is every bit of a fly. I cannot think of another person who left the school, went to another school that has made a worse career move than Nico. Period.
I agree with you. That's my fly. I'm going to go fly with you. I think it's really hurting him in the long term.
Like, man, he's got to get out of UCLA. I'm serious. All right, John, this is the one we were going to talk about here. Bush Hamden and the first half for the Kentucky offense. Now, my question is this. Was that the most embarrassing operation in SEC history for an offense?
I would say so.
I mean, you got Sean McDonough and and the whole ABC, ESPN crew just like calling you out play by play. I mean, this wasn't a one-time thing. This was like 3 or 4 plays in a row. It was like a play-by-play watching it on the TV. John was actually at the game, so he wasn't watching it live on TV. I'm telling you, I was sitting in my living room by myself and I was embarrassed. I mean, what in the world? Now, they did come back, like I said, they come back and said that the earpiece in the helmet quit working, and I get it that does cause issues. You probably, the first time it happens, you probably are going to look a little lost. I get that. There's no excuse for that happen 4 times in 4 straight plays.
No, and the good positive thing is Kentucky is probably running the football better than they did a year ago. But the problem, like you said, the passing game and the inability to make explosive plays has been really putting this offense behind the 8 ball. UK has not scored more than 2 offensive touchdowns in 10 games against power conference opponents under Bush Hamden.
Guess how many passing touchdowns through 2 games that Kentucky has? Take a wild guess.
1.
0.
I would think they would have had 1.
It's 0. They had 3 rushing touchdowns in the first game and two against Ole Miss. They have 5 rushing touchdowns and not a smell in the air passing. Nothing. Nada. I mean, John, I can do that. And I'm 50. I mean, like, it's really sad. And I've been talking about this. I've been talking about this on our show since Will Levis left, okay? This is 3 straight years now I've been talking about this. I thought we had an absolute dud. He left. We got Bush Hamden, and I'll be damned if he's not worse.
He's not great.
Listen, not great is a real nice thing to say.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, that's really nice, Clark. That's real nice.
Yeah, well, I just don't think he's a great offensive coordinator. I just don't. And Stoops, to me, is hitching his wagon to Bush Hamden, win or lose. To me, that's setting yourself up for failure. And you know, the thing about it is he's also hitching his job to this guy.
Yeah. And John, you talked about the 3rd and 8 quarterback draw, okay? But I want to dig into that just a little bit deeper, okay? Because here's my issue with it, okay? He was asked about that play after the game, okay? Bush Hamden was in the press conference. Or I don't know if it's in the press conference, but by the press, he was asked about it, okay? And his response was, well, we ran that play because I was considering that a 2 down. We had already determined that we were going to go for it on 4th down. I have an issue with that because I have talked about this last night on our Wildcat Weekly show, how bad those decisions were to go for it on 4th down in field goal position, down 7. It didn't happen once, it happened twice. One of those he was asked about, they run a 1 or 2 yard pickup quarterback draw with Cutter Boley, who had just come in the darn game, all right, on a 3rd and 8 and picked up next to nothing. Had 4th and 7 on this play, all right? 4th and 7, they were at the 27-yard line. They have a kicker, again, that supposedly can kick 60-yard field goals. All right? I'm not sure the time before that they had a 4th and 7 or a 4th and 8 at the 20. It would have been a 37-yard field goal. They did the exact same thing, and I don't understand if Bush Hamden is the guy making that call and not Mark Stoops, then Bush Hamden is the guy to get rid of and the guy to not be there. Because I feel like the entire game on Saturday evening that Mark Stoops was pissed off and surprised at just how inept the offense was on the side.
You had the constant substitution. You had the 3 timeouts where they couldn't get proper personnel lined up. Then they had the one before halftime where they couldn't get set, and they had an ineligible receiver when the official said that one of the receivers didn't line up probably before the snap. And then the other problem that I have is we're taking too much time on the play clock.
Every time.
It gets down to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and fans were screaming in the stands to get
Snap
the ball.
Snap the
freaking ball.
It's ridiculous.
Like,
so I'm going to be honest with you. There probably has been some times where there's been an embarrassment, especially when the earpieces and the mics go out and stuff and the helmets. I mean, I'm not going to say that this is the most embarrassing, but watching it and listening to the play-by-play of it, of the ESPN on ABC on ESPN broadcasting crew.
Yeah, it was a little embarrassing.
It's pretty bad. That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
It's pretty bad.
This was a fly for me.
Maybe it's a fly.
Yeah, it's a fly for me.
All right, John, I'm going to move on to the Big 12. The Big 12, I said it off the top of the show. There's a couple of teams that still look like they could be really good teams. Arizona State took a loss at Mississippi State. Mississippi State was picked dead last in the SEC. I'm not saying that's where they're going to finish, but that's where they were picked preseason. You got Iowa State and Texas Tech that still look pretty good. Iowa State looks really good, to be quite honest with you. Texas Tech, like I said, really hasn't played anybody. Outside of them two teams, if them two teams falter, will the Big 12 winner have at least 4 losses?
Most likely. You probably want to have a team like Utah, maybe a team like Arizona State, probably maybe even Baylor. I thought they had the most impressive win this week.
BYU maybe still. I'm not sure, but
TCU possibly. I thought they looked really good against North Carolina. Kansas, I don't know about them. They looked really good early, and they just lost everything. I don't know what happened down the stretch. They was up 21-6 and just completely faltered. Then you got Colorado, which is Ryan Staub. Lord have mercy. He's going to a third-string quarterback, Deion Sanders.
in the second game.
In the second game of the year. So, I don't know, man.
Hey, did you see he's going to start him on Saturday? Yeah, Staub.
He's starting him. So, I don't know, man. And then you got the bad teams, Oklahoma State, and then you had – I hate to bring this up.
They fell off a cliff.
I know my boy Ryan's watching this tonight. West Virginia, Saturday. That was embarrassing at Ohio. Absolutely embarrassing.
I'm going to tell you right now, they might be wanting Neil Brown back for too long. I don't know.
That was just – I'll just leave it at that. That was embarrassing. To be frank, just not a good effort. I still think Arizona State is the top dog in there, but they're going to have to fix some issues. I felt
they could not throw the ball. They were like they're playing like Kentucky.
Well, you got to get some receivers involved. Jordan Tyson is one of their top guys. But they need other guys in that mix. I think you got to use the tight ends a little bit more. They don't really get over takeaways.
Did you see Sam's Levitt's last throw?
Yeah, I seen it.
I mean,
not great, Bob.
Is his hands 4 inches? I mean,
And I'll say this. I
does he have half a hand or what?
I felt like Arizona State should have went for it right there at fourth at the 1 yard line, because even if they don't get it, you have to make Mississippi State go the length of the field. They kicked the field, man.
In the second half, they could not complete a pass. They could not pass the ball. They ran the ball pretty good, but I mean, they could not pass the ball.
And then you got Kansas State. You know, they have an inconsistent running game. You know, there's just
Here's
a
the
lot.
thing about Kansas State. They'll probably figure it out and end the season with 3 losses, and they already have 2. So, I mean
Avery Johnson is good. It's just
it's
putting it all together. But
I
think this is a fly, Brad. I think
I'm going to say no fly. I still think that the winner of the Big 12 will not have 4 losses.
I think they'll be maybe 2 or 3 at the most.
Yeah. Yeah, but I on this one, I am going to end this one with a no fly. And then, John, we are going to move to our last and our big topic. We always have fun with this one each week. We're going to move to our good, the bad, and the ugly. So week 2 in college football, we always have a little bit of fun with this one here at the Big Fuss Show. We call this the good, the bad, and the ugly. So each week we pick a good, bad, and the ugly. So, John, I'm going to start with you. What's your good from week 2 of college football?
I'm going to go John Mateer, Oklahoma. I felt like he played really, really well Saturday. Oklahoma, got a big win over Michigan. Michigan does not look like your normal Michigan team. Their defense just got clamped on Saturday by John Mateer. I felt like he just made plays with his feet. He made a lot of great decisions with the ball. And Oklahoma's defense, I thought, played really, really well. And then my other good would be Mississippi State. Last year, Coach Levy, they had a really, really tough year. They come back after blowing a 17-0 lead Saturday, and they won the game on one of the craziest plays I've ever seen. Wide open down the middle, and just unbelievable.
He was
catch.
definitely wide open.
Unbelievable catch. My bad would be Billy Napier. Like I said, there was a lot of issues there Saturday. He just, you better get it. You better get it fixed. You got LSU Saturday, in the jungle.
Yeah,
in Death Valley. You better get things kind of figured out. I'm trying to think. What else? I'm gonna go. My other bad would be BYU or SMU. They had Baylor beat. They was up 14 points. SMU had moved the ball all day long. It just felt like the game was over.
When you score 45 points, you should win a game.
You do. I don't think it keeps them from a college football playoff, but it's difficult though. You got Miami and Clemson still waiting in the wings on their schedule. So that's my bad. My 2 bads. My ugly. I'm gonna go 2 here. West Virginia. There was a lot of excitement with Rich Rodriguez. It's lasted probably 20 minutes. They got outgained by Ohio. Outgained.
Not Ohio State, guys. Ohio,
yes.
Yeah.
Parker Navarro, he was the quarterback for a while. He played really, really well Saturday. Oklahoma State was the other one. Oh, my God. How bad can it get in Stillwater? 69-3. And Brad made a good point. We was joking about it Saturday. He said they got put in front of a firing squad.
telling you, man, somebody needs to put them out of their misery.
That was about as sorry as a performance that I've seen in quite some time. It was really bad. And I'm gonna go one more bad to finish mine off.
You mean ugly?
No, well, yeah, maybe ugly and bad is Michigan. That was an ugly performance. And I've watched Michigan the last 2 to 3 years, and that is not your normal Michigan team. Their quarterback play, Bryce Underwood,
they have a different coach. I mean, I think you're going to find that a lot.
don't get me wrong. I think Bryce Underwood's going to be really, really good. I think just with time, he's a freshman. There's just a lot to work with there. But their defense is usually spot on. But Mateer ate them alive. One of the best defense in the country.
But Mateer is a good quarterback too,
and he's a good quarterback. Yes. So that's all for mine. And well, I'll add another ugly real quick. Louisiana Monroe. That was. Don't get me wrong. Alabama needed a bounce back game. They needed a really big bounce back game. But my God,
3 of them.
That they could have scored 90 points, and he let up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, they took Simpson out and everything. I mean, early.
Yeah. I mean, that was bad.
Yeah.
So, on to you.
All right. So, my good, bad, and ugly. All right. So, one that you didn't mention, and I've got an article coming out in the morning, 8 a.m. on Stadium Rant about Ty Bryant. He is a legacy recruit at Kentucky, and he had 2 interceptions of Austin Simmons in the first quarter, setting up 10 points for Kentucky. Today, he was named the Jim Thorpe defensive back of the week for college football. And like I said, he is a legacy recruit. His dad played for Jerry Claiborne in the 80s. His dad actually played on the team with Bill Ransdell that went 9-3 and won what has been known as the Outback Bowl, is now the Reliquest Bowl. It wasn't called that back then. It was called the Hall of Fame Classic back then. But they went 9-3, finished 19 in the country. His dad did. And Ty Bryant was born in Lexington. And to have the fans cheer for him like he did, like they did on Saturday in Lexington at Kroger Field, being a legacy recruit, wearing his dad's number 14. He wears his dad's old number for UK. I just got to give a shout out to Ty Bryant. Check out my article in the morning on Stadium Rant on Ty Bryant. So I got to say that. And then
his dad is actually Cisco Bryant.
Cisco Bryant. Yep. He played from 83 to 85 for the Cats. He was a wide receiver. Had almost 500 yards and 6 TDs in his career. And like I said, helped lead Kentucky to a 9-3 season, and was ranked 19th in the country in '84. So yeah, I mean, just a really good feel-good story for Ty Bryant to do that at home. So I got to put that in here. And I mean, I agree with you. So we was talking about hot seat. I was Brent Venables at Oklahoma, but when this season started, I was kind of thinking that he might fall on the hot seat. And so far, 2 weeks in, John Mateer looks like he's going to up the ante for the Oklahoma Sooners. And I believe that they're going to have looks like a very good season. I like the way they look so far. The bad, John, I wanted to kind of go ugly with this, but I'm going to put Bush Hamden and the offense for Kentucky in this one. I think, if nothing else, it was at least really bad. So I'm going to put that one in on this one for the bad. I'm also, for my ugly, man, I'm going Billy Napier. The way you ended that game, you had the lead, man. Like, What are you doing? Like, okay, Gundy, like I said, man, I'm not even. Did he even make the trip to Oregon? Was he even there? I mean, seriously, I'm not sure. I have no visual proof that he was even there. I mean, 100%. I don't even know, like, if he made the trip to Eugene or not. But Billy Napier, man, for real, you had the ball under 3 minutes and had the lead 15-13. Your opponent had 2 timeouts.
Well, and to be fair, they hadn't really played well.
Every
And still had
coach
to lead.
in America, every human being that loves football and has a passion for football knows that you run the ball and make them eat the clock up and make them call their timeouts.
Yep.
I mean, there is no excuse for what you did to end the game and only eat up like 17 or 19 seconds in 4 plays, punt the ball back to them, give them every opportunity. They still had both timeouts and the 2-minute timeout because your big dummy didn't even eat up the clock to the 2-minute timeout because you're throwing the ball all over the place.
Well, and like I said, you know, they had the lead and still yet did not play very well. They had the opportunity to win that game, even with the way they played.
And then to beat it all, you had a player spit in the guy's face because they were fixing to get beat. And I mean, listen, I don't know what went on in the football world this past week because there was also an incident with the Dallas and the Eagles game. And we talked about that a little bit the other night. Mm-hmm. Everybody, it's not cool to spit in somebody's face. All right. It's just not cool. Like, chill out, calm down. I'm a competitive guy. I love sports, dude. All of them. I'm not going to spit in somebody's face. I mean, come on, man. For real.
I will say this before we kind of go. Another thing that I saw Saturday that I thought was pretty funny was Fran Brown, the Syracuse coach, made his team do sprints after they beat UConn in overtime.
Huh.
After the game.
After the game?
Fans there, yes.
Huh.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah. I mean,
he's building a culture there. Everybody's saying, you know, how they lost to Tennessee, but he had 10 wins last year. He's building a culture at Syracuse, and Syracuse is going to be something with that guy as head coach.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, he's doing a good job. He done a good job last year, and they got Will Howard and had a good year. And we'll see exactly where they end up this year in the ACC. I did want to kind of just add real quick the spitting incident. Just drop it, man. That's just not cool. Not at all. All right, we are going to end it up. I am going to put a couple of things on here, guys. Home Field Apparel, check them out. Go and for premium collegiate vintage apparel, use our code CSCast. It will help us out, and you'll get some really cool tailgating gear for football. The Real Fresh channel, appreciate them. They are on Tuesday nights before us on our Facebook page, as well as check out their YouTube. Stadium Rant, check out their YouTube. Both channels have lots of really cool shows, NFL, wrestling, all kinds of stuff, man. Check them out. Our Wildcat Weekly show debuted last night. If you did not catch it, we had a special guest, sophomore Kentucky volleyball player Asia Thigpen was on our show last night for a short 15-minute segment. at the beginning of the show. Our debut show was last night, and Asia Thigpen was on the show for us, and we appreciate her in Kentucky volleyball.
Do you know what she said when she first came on? Are you going to get more players to come
Yeah.
on the show? I thought that was pretty
Yeah.
neat.
I was like, heck yeah, that's the plan.
That's the plan. That's good.
Yeah. I was like, heck yeah, let's go. All right. So Bird's Eye View is helping with photos. Having said that, the photos that are going to be in the new Ty Bryant article in the morning are both the one for the cover and the one in the article are both from Eric Bird and Bird's Eye View. So we appreciate him helping us with our Kentucky coverage this year.
And thank you to Susan Lax and Kentucky football for allowing us to cover the game Saturday. I kind of wanted to throw that in there because Brad's getting a chance to go. Hopefully we get to go to more. But thank you, Susan Lax, for letting us be a part of the Kentucky football media this weekend. And an opportunity for Kentucky to really, get some kinks worked out.
Find an offense. It'd be a good one.
It would. Yep.
I mean, that would be a good one because they're going to need it. Like, you got to throw the ball and have a smooth operation.
Well, and two going into the bye week, which would help. So go fresh.
Look at there.
Go wild.
We got Howie Fresh on the show as we're ending things up. What's up, Howie Fresh?
Go Jets.
Yeah.
Well, they actually pulled it. They actually pulled it out Sunday. The Steelers. Aaron Rodgers come through.
They did. They pulled it out at the end. All right, guys. If you have not checked out all of our shows, we had some preview shows. We're 2 weeks in. You may want to check them out. And we do this show, the Big Fuss Show, on Tuesday nights, and our game day pick'ems are on Friday nights. And then we started our debut show last night on Monday nights, Wildcat Weekly. So that is our shows. Appreciate it, Fresh. Appreciate that, man. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up, and we're going to call it a night, and we will see you guys on Friday night for our game day pick'ems. It's kind of tough. I'll be honest with you, John. I'm not impressed with the week 3 slate.
I ain't either.
I'm really not impressed.
Maybe I'm going to try to get games, like Georgia, Tennessee.
There's a couple, but I mean, 2 or 3.
There's some underrated games like Arkansas and Ole Miss. Maybe South Carolina, Vanderbilt. There may be a few.
Honest with you. I'm going to try my best to get 12 games together for us for Friday night. I was looking at it, and I only saw 9 or 10 that I felt like was worthy, but I will put a few other games in there, and we will have our game day pick'ems. I'm just like week 3, the slate is a little thin.
Yep.
All right, guys, y'all have a good night. We will wrap this up and see you on Friday night. Y'all have a good one.
Have a good